Hi everyone, I'm Girlfriend. I have a lovely friend here today. We'll meet in a second. This is a Leather and Laces podcast show. If you don't know what Leather and Laces is, it is an 18 up style vlog. If you are under the age of 18, I do ask that you click off and go check out scarletteen.com. If you are over 18, please welcome and enjoy. These are the opinions of myself or my interviewer. They do not reflect any contest that I hold or that they hold. These are just personal opinions, and we're going to be bootblacking today. So I have AJ Porter. It's like my dad. Who's like my dad. They were my predecessor, and they're the current international bootblack title holder. So we're
International Community
Bootblack. Lots of things. But I get to go maybe be next.
Yeah, maybe be next. It'd be nice. Keep it in Florida for a little bit.
Oh boy. Okay, so who are you?
Well, my name is AJ Porter, like you said. My pronouns are he, him, and they, them. And I've been bootblacking for a long time. And I just hang out in Florida and kind of do some cool stuff.
Yeah. Do you have any contact info in case people want to get a hold of you or get in touch?
You can find me on Facebook at AJ Porter. And you can also find me on TikTok as AJ's Got Jokes, because I do like to tell a lot of dad jokes. So if that's your thing, come and follow me on TikTok.
Deal. And what are we cleaning today?
We are going to clean a pair of leather bracers. This is my very first piece of leather that was custom made for me by Gobert, who is he's wonderful, and he's here in the Orlando area, and he does a lot of the custom leather for the Florida region, and this was my very first piece that he made for me, so that's what we're going to do today.
Yeah. Awesome. Also, fun announcement in my land, because I forgot, because I went on autopilot. So I have a website up now. It has some things on there for you people if you'd like to buy and learn and bootblack along with me. So I'm actually selling mini bootblack kits. It comes in a nice canvas bag. It comes with a pretty card. It's got my face on it. It's got what's inside the bag. I also got a toothbrush. Don't brush your teeth with it. It's got a dauber brush. It comes with a rag. It's cleaned. It's my husband's old shirt. You can't smell anything, but it's good for cleaning. It comes with one itty bitty sample size of Open-Offs and one itty bitty sample size of saddle soap. And it comes with a little sticker gift. So you can get all of this. I'm also selling my pins on there as well. A portion of all of this will go back into my travel fund to help along with everything happening with my contest.
That's a really nice kit to start off with.
Yeah.
It's got everything that you're going to need to do your first pair of boots.
Yeah, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's a good starter base kit. And there's going to be a YouTube video that's just for YouTube to go right on there with the kits. So in case you get lost, it's right there. Or you can always just flag me down and be like, I got a really weird question. And I'm like, I might have a very strange answer for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So tell us your first experience and what brought you into the lifestyle.
Oh, man. The leather community or just the
lifestyle
in
kink,
general?
everything.
Oh my gosh. So long time ago when I was just a lad.
Really?
Yeah, really. I feel so old with this question.
I got called an elder like a few weeks ago. I almost cried.
This gets me right in the heart. I feel like I was always interested in kink. As a young person, I was doing kinky things to myself, and I grew up on the cusp of the internet, so I found a lot of chat rooms, a lot of things of that nature. So I was always interested in it, and it wasn't until I came to Florida, because I lived in Maine beforehand, and Maine is very much nothing. Like, it's just nothing when it comes to kink and parties. You have to go to a bigger city like Boston or maybe even Portland. So coming down here, I actually found kink through FetLife, who I affectionately call Fetface now.
Fetface, yeah.
Fetface, yeah. And I found my local community there, and I just started working and volunteering at events, going to a lot of munches. I can remember my very first munch. I was terrified. I didn't talk to anybody. Can I have some water?
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And I definitely went to a lot of munches, a lot of education, a lot of reading, and then I went to my very first con, and that was in Florida. It was Florida Bash.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and again, I didn't talk to anybody. I just sat there and I learned a lot of things that I was interested in. Like at the time, it was a lot of bondage, a lot of ropey kind of stuff, because I thought that's what people were supposed to do. And I had very, very long hair at the time, and I wanted to do a suspension by my hair, which going to this class, I realized that is not possible because it will rip your hair.
Scalp,
Your hair will come out of the scalp. So education is really key because what we do can be dangerous.
Yes.
And that's basically kind of where I started from in my kink world. And then I went to another con and I saw this very, very beautiful person doing a erotic bootblack scene, and I was like, yeah, I want to do that. But maybe not in that way. Because again, I was very reserved, and I was like, I don't know about that. It's kind of, it's just kind of too much. And again, I went to classes, I learned, I asked a lot of questions and got my hands dirty, and I've just been doing it ever since.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So what is your definition of leather? Of course you can.
Thanks.
Right, here you go.
For me, my definition of leather is...
I like how you're doing the leather.
I know, right? Like, I don't know. Just, so basically, my definition of leather is not what you wear, it's who you are. You have to really enjoy the leather and be community minded. But before you can do that, I think you have to be self-aware and really be aware of yourself and like who you are as a person, where you're going to grow, what are you doing, because people in leather like to say that we're very community focused and we have to be super friendly to everybody and it's just one big community. And really, before you can jump into that, you've got to know yourself. You got to know what you're gonna accept in your life and what you're not.
Deal.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be a bootblack?
Well, bootblacks. I like to think of bootblacks as the bartender of the leather world. People come to our stands. They want to relax. They want a good shine. They want conversation. They tell you things that they would probably not tell other people. You really kind of get the gist of like what the community is about in that local area, especially if you travel. As title holders, we do tend to travel a lot before the pandemic. So each leather community or town is leather community is different and has a different feel. And I think as a bootblack, you can really understand that when you're talking to the people and being, in that environment. But also bootblack is sexy. You can get in there and you can play and you can get messy with the person and you can be really sensual and, have that. I think some of my favorite scenes have been the quiet ones, where you're whispering in the ear, taking your brush and moving around the skin and stuff. So I think it's multifaceted. Anybody can be a bootblack. It's not one of those categories or things of that nature where you have to be, male identified and muscular and you can only wear skivvies. Like no, like bootblacks come in all shapes and sizes. They come in all personalities, tenure. Some of the oldest bootblacks I know are some of the kindest people I know. The youngest ones, I mean, it's just an array. I always say anybody can be a bootblack.
Nice. What was it like coming back and winning Florida Community Bootblack for the second time? Because
oh man,
AJ won my title twice.
I did.
I had a lot to live up to.
Yeah, so I won Florida Community Bootblack in 2016. That was my very first attempt at getting my feet wet into the contest world, because it's different. It is very, I like the pageantry of it, but it's also very quick. There's different skills that you work with, and there's just different things that we look for in a title versus a stand time. And so I won it in 2016 and came up as first runner-up in International Community Bootblack in 2016. Boy Patrick won that year, and I was pretty much fine with that. I was like, yeah, I did the thing, and I tried new things, and I learned a lot about myself, and then like a couple years later, I was like, yeah, I think I could do this again, because I really wanted to get that international title. Like I was so close, you can almost taste it. So I went back home and I worked on it. The difference was in 2016, I was competing against myself, so I had to get a certain amount of points to be awarded the title. And then in 2019, I had two more competitors with me in that class. So not only did I have to work on my own stuff, but I also had to make sure that I was the best out of those two, and that was hard.
That was hard.
Really, really hard.
You beat my boyfriend good. Hi. Really sorry, Michael. and you beat Aspen well. So.
But they were really quality competitors. They knew their stuff. They brought in, they brought their own spin onto bootblacking. Aspen came out in that hanky dress.
God, that dress. It had to be flown in.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, my pants are like not very...
I'm so underdressed for this contest. I love you. I saw the pictures of that dress and I'm like, dang.
I know. I was like, well, this is it, like, and that's how I took it. Like, I wasn't going to come in and be like, oh, I've done this before, so I'm just going to do it again. But I took every possible thing and did it better.
Nice.
Than I did in 2016. I just wanted to make sure that I was doing my best for myself, and if that was good enough, then yay!
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 Yeah,
yay!
Awesome. What's it like being an international title holder?
Well, you know what?
This year's been
I
weird.
I don't know. You know what? It's a whirlwind. Expect a lot of planning, a lot of traveling. Even before I got my title in September, so it was right before COVID hit. But then all of the things, like I didn't do anything until January because a lot of what was, well, I don't want to say I didn't do anything.
There was
I did a lot
FPE,
of local stuff.
yeah, a lot of local
things. Stuff, more so than travel. And then my traveling picked up in February and March, and then COVID hit. So I haven't done a lot of traveling, but in a typical year, you do travel. I've seen some title holders travel 43 weekends out of the year. I like to have one weekend off a month where I'm not doing something community leather based or anything like that, just to kind of recoup and get back to my favorites.
Nice.
So.
Nice. How did you recover from your worst bootblacking experience? And what was it?
I think for me, my worst bootblacking experience was with somebody who wasn't in the leather community. And I was a new bootblack, and I was doing stand time, and I've been out there for hours because we were just short, and I'm always like, fill a need, here I am. And I was working on this motorcycle boots that had Harley Davidson stitching of the eagle, so I was trying to be really careful and trying to make conversation with this guy, and he just wasn't having it. And he said something, and I thought he was talking to me, and he was like, so I told him, I was like, hey, I missed it. Were you speaking with me? And he was like, no, I wouldn't be speaking with you. Get to work. And I was just like, what?
Okay.
I was like, okay. So I just went back to work and I didn't talk to him, and he gave me, whatever the tip was, and on the way he went, and it was a learning opportunity, because I use that as an example when I teach the younger Bootblacks that is chair etiquette we don't accept. And back then I accepted it, and now I've been like, oh, honey, like, we're done.
Yeah.
I hope you're okay. I hope your boots are good, but you don't treat me like that.
No, you don't deserve that at any level. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. How about I do the back since you did the front?
So with here, because this is a two-toned piece, so we've got purple going through here, and then it's stitched on black. You would just do like you normally would. Mm-hmm. But what's nice about this from Go Bear is that they all snap. So you can just remove it and get into some of the spaces. Like, this hasn't been cleaned in a while, so
this is why we're doing it today.
So that's how I would do it. Just use the saddle soap, and a little bit will do ya.
Yep.
Well, you know how to do it.
I think I know how to do it. I think you watched me. Well, we can teach everyone else, though.
That's true.
Be watching this later. What has your journey as a trans person been in the leather community for you? Because when I first met you, you were very different.
Yeah. So I am a trans person. I identify as a non-binary trans person. I think for me, it's been difficult in some aspects. It's been hard because when you see the community, there are bits and pieces that you wish you didn't see. And I think before the transition, I didn't see it as much. Mm-hmm. And now it's there. And so it's my opportunity to try to fix it through education and conversation, and just kind of bring awareness to some of the issues that trans people experience in the leather community, and just in life, like, for example, there's a lot of trans people who have difficulty finding work, and the work they do find is not paying very well, so it's this cycle of systematic poverty. They have a hard time finding medication consistently because it's expensive, and a lot of insurances don't like to cover that stuff. So that's the things that just as a transgender community, some of us face. But going back to the leather community, it's a lot of education, a lot of talking, and just understanding that this is who I am, and and if you don't like it, you don't have to. We don't have to be friends, but you're still a part of the community that I love, and I hope to make that change through each of these conversations. But I think overall it hasn't been too bad. I'm pretty lucky. I'm not. I am very privileged, and I realize my privilege. I work for a great company that has healthcare specifically for trans folks, and they have a great diversity, right? Great diversity and inclusion team, so we don't tolerate bigotry and harassment and things like that. And I do a lot of work through them as well. So I think, I'm pretty lucky. I really am pretty lucky.
Nice. Awesome. What does it mean to have a title family? It seems like yours is giant.
It's giant, yes. So, a title family is, what that really means is that you can always count on me. You are now part of the Florida title family, my Florida title family, and I have an international title family, and and when things go wrong and you need someone to just listen, to you, or offer advice, you can call them up, or this weekend is actually International Miss Leather and IMSL.
It's IMSL.
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite events. And we actually, 3 years ago now, I took a cross-country trip to California to be a handler for one of the contestants, and our housing fell through.
Oh.
So all I did was go on to Facebook and said, hey guys, gals and non-binary pals, I really need some help here, and this is where we're going to be on these dates. And within 20 minutes, I had housing secured for us to go back and forth. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without a title family. And it's really there, just a great support.
Nice.
Yeah.
I do love my title family. I'm looking forward to interviewing my title brothers.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Awesome. What is your leather family like for you, outside of title family?
My leather family, you know, they're the ride and die. You know, like if I'm, you know, broken down on the side of the road at 3 a.m. and it's raining, I can call them and they can come out and get me.
Nice.
You know, they are my teachers, my mentors. You know, they are the people that when I'm struggling with something, I want to talk about it, I'll reach out to them. You know, they are there.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay. So next step of this, we got a lighter. We got some threads.
Yeah, we do have a lot of threading on here.
It happens.
Yeah, so like, I don't know if y'all can see this part, but you can
It's
see.
like waving.
Yeah, like it's just out there. So you could take a torch and just kind of burn off the little wispies and make it brand new again. Or you can take some little scissors. Like if you're out in a convention, most hotels won't let you bring fire into the hotel like this. So you know, scissors are always handy. But yeah, and I think this is just quicker. If you're in a hurry, you can just go.
Yep.
Just don't burn the leather. That's one thing. With torches, it's a lot hotter, so you can twinge the leather. I think that was my very first like aha moment, because like on this vest, I don't know if you can see it. Let me see.
I may have repaired it.
Right here. I singed the O like 20 minutes after I got it.
Oh joy.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you know, just using the things around you. Bootblacking does not have to be super expensive. You can go to your local Dollar Tree and get denture brushes, denture tablets.
Yep.
I like to use those in my kit. You can get glycerin soap right off of Amazon. A big brick of it for like $12, and that lasts you forever.
Oh my god, I just remember
still...
I do have glycerin soap in my soap kit because I'm adorable.
That's all right.
I do have a whole bunch of it because I do make soap, and I'm like, no, I don't have any in my boot.
Yeah, you know, I got mine off of Amazon, and I got these tins with a magnet back from the Dollar Tree, and I just melted it, poured it in, threw it in. You know, once it settled, I put it onto the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And I'm still working on the first one, so.
I think I still have mine because I bought mine from Michael's like years ago,
yeah,
and I'm
and
still
that's
trying
why,
to make soap.
You know, when you're looking at these little kits that you have, and you see that there's like a couple ounces, that's enough to do a good
couple pairs.
Like I would say, you can probably do about 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because a little will do you. And I think that, and when you boot black for the first, few months, I always thought more product the better, and that's necessarily not true. Not true at all. So a little will do you, because the more product you put on here and the wetter your leather is, the more it can bubble up and damage the leather. And so that's why a little will do you. So don't be fooled by how much product is in those little cans. That's a good amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What is different from being an international title holder from a state title holder?
Bigger budget.
Bigger budget.
I think it just depends. You know, I joke bigger travel budget. because with an international level, you've got, you know, a lot of folks coming from different areas. You know, it's bigger. But really, what I did in the Florida Community Bootblack contest, I did in the International Community Bootblack.
Nice.
It was the fireside chat. Wasn't scored in Florida, but it definitely was in international. And I think that another thing that was a little different was that we did it was a demo that wasn't scored. It was kind of like the social entertainment for an event that we had there. But other than that, it really is the same.
Okay.
It really is the same.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What advice would you give someone who wants to run for a leather contest?
Do your research. Do your research on the title, the producer, where that title goes to, the history of the international title. Understand that this could be a multi-year investment. I know some folks who, depending upon their region, will do 3-4 years of commitment to get to the international level. So really, also don't worry about whether your leather is perfect. Wear what you like. Be yourself. Be unique in your own interpretation of what leather means to you. But just really go out there and try it. You know, I didn't think I was going to win, especially after my the interpersonal time. It was outside by the pool, 97 degree in the Florida heat in July, Father's Day weekend.
Yep.
Because I always call my dad on that weekend, and when I'm sitting at the pool, and I was like, oh my God, they looked miserable. They did. They looked miserable. Like it was the worst experience that they had to sit through, and I knew I was done then. And I was just like, let me just get this over with. Hopefully, I scored enough. If not, then I'm done. Mm-hmm. But that really wasn't the case. It was just really, really hot that day, and I was really, really slow. I was so slow the first time. But again, it just shows you that you continue to learn, and Bootblacks always teach. My judge was Briarwood, who was the International Community Bootblack 2015, and she and Daddy Steph came out and was like, I'm going to show you how to do this faster. And I was like, well, look at that. That was faster.
Well, it's something.
Well, isn't that something? So I would say do it, research the cost of it. There's a lot of hidden, I don't want to say hidden, but a lot of costs that pop up that you don't expect. Like if you win like international, like you won the Florida, now you're looking at international. Well, you might want to buy yourself a new outfit. Or,
I bought myself new suitcases.
Yeah,
new
suitcases. That's one thing. A new suitcase. I wish I would have had.
You can borrow mine for next time.
But things like that tend to pop up. And then, like, if you're traveling, your meals are going to be different, and you really have to focus on how you're going to take care of yourself. But I've had a positive experience with my titled runs, so I'm always like, try it. Just do your research.
Deal. What was your favorite thing about your title years?
I think that my favorite thing was to see all the other Bootblacks. Like, we did an event before COVID. It was just right before COVID. The Southern Soul Bootblacks came together. Dale and her daddy put on this event, and it was the first event I've ever been to that was solely geared towards Bootblacks.
Nice.
And I was like, this is awesome. And I went up there to Atlanta and participated and helped out, and it was just such a great event, not only because they treated us like the royalty that we are. I mean, we're pretty important. I think bootblacks are pretty important in the leather world, and we sometimes get forgotten. So, we are royalty, in my opinion. And I think just to see the amount of bootblacks come together and work together and share and teach. And, we had the president of Hubbard's come for Friday, and he actually cleaned boots and used his product on boots. Yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah, I gave him one of my boots, and I was like, "Here, you can practice on this," And it's things like that is what really, what I really, really enjoyed about my year. Yeah,
nice. I love that.
Yeah,
awesome. What are your top 3 kinks or fetishes?
So food play has got to be number 1. That's why I kind of chuckle. I do like to flag lime green. That's the color for food play. I really enjoy topping during food play scenes and coming up with creative ways to use food. Let's see. My next color I think I like to flag the most is purple for piercing. I like to be a needle bottom and do creative things with needles. And then I just like old school S&M, like get in there with whips and, let's play. I like to bring a playful aspect to it. So anything that I can move around and laugh.
Accidentally break things and let it fly
things.
through
Yeah.
an event.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Tony. Really sorry. What is your favorite tool in your bootblack kit?
Oh man. I'm trying to think because I got a lot of stuff.
Same.
Yeah, it grows. It really does. And it grows because you're experimenting with a lot of different things. But I gotta say my favorite thing in that kit is the denture powder.
Really?
Yes, because one of the things that happens as a bootblack is that your nails get really dirty. And I love this denture powder because Boot Pig, who is a bootblack that I had met along my travels and going to different cons, I was telling her one day that I do not like to get my nails dirty and then like go bootblack and then go eat. I have to get my nails clean because stuff gets under your fingernails. And I said, I just can't do it. And I have a brush and everything. And so she taught me that trick, and it's been a lifesaver ever since.
Deal.
So, yeah, I have to say that.
I love it. What has been your favorite piece of leather?
There's just, I think my favorite piece of leather that I got to do was a pair of Doc Martens that she came to my stand, and she had gotten these Doc Martens, and they were just perfectly fit for her, and I shined them up for her, and it was so special because the conversation that we had and the energy that we exchanged and just the time that we spent together was really, really super important to me.
Aww,
so,
nice.
Yeah, I gotta say those.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is consent?
Yes.
Yes?
An enthusiastic yes.
More than a participation ribbon.
That's right. If you do not get yes, you can do that, or yes, I would love to have that, then it's not consent.
Deal.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what the next question is.
No, I don't.
Probably. You might. It might be a mind read. How do we hold leadership reliable for issues of consent?
Ooh. I think if we're going to hold our leaders accountable, we have to hold ourselves accountable for when we make mistakes, because it happens. You will have mistakes. But I think when our leaders are consistently having known violators participate, and they're not supporting the community, it is us. It's our responsibility to say no. That's not how that works.
Yeah.
And keep talking about it and keep bringing it up and keep talking, because the more we're silent, the more people
Slide away.
get away with it. And talk about vetting and talk about, what do you do when you see that? Make a plan. I don't think we make plans enough to know what to do when we see a violation take place, or if it happens to us. Because I will say for myself, when I play, I like to play and I will stretch myself to experience whatever I can, because I don't know where my limits are in a particular type of play. Like, say, for example, whips. The first time I ever saw them, I was like, fuck no. Nope. And so I had to learn about them. I got whipped, and I kept saying, okay, give me some more. Now, did I get whipped in the ear? Yeah. Was that a violation? Well, technically, yes, because I said don't whip, from here to here. Yeah. But, at that point, what do? So we stopped, made sure the ear is the ear is okay, and talk about it and continue to play. I wanted to play some more.
Yeah.
Sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes it's
a hard stop.
Yeah. But I think coming up with a plan of what you're going to do, who you're going to talk to, and what happens when that community leader doesn't do anything about it. What happens next? And I think we still have to continue that work. I know Florida has some opportunities to do better.
I think so too.
And I think there's always opportunities. We're not the only state who fucks up. I think the media likes to say that.
Because Florida Man has a transparent record. We're really sorry you guys get to hear
Florida
about all
Man
our
Fridays and Florida Woman Wednesdays. But I think it's more of coming up with that plan and keep talking and saying no. This is not acceptable in my leather community. This is not my leather. This is not something I'm going to tolerate.
Deal. All right. Can leather and kink be political?
Oh yeah, it is.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is. Totally is.
Is BDSM and kink sexual?
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
No, like for me, I don't have. I like to play in dungeons when I get the chance, and I like to be in queer spaces. But just because we're gonna play doesn't mean I'm gonna bring you back to my place, or it can happen. But does it always? No. And I think it's kind of weird when people expect that, because I'm like, I'm shoving cupcakes in your mouth and you want to go back and what? Like, I just want to shove cupcakes in your mouth and see how much you can eat. Like nothing. It doesn't always have to be around that. But I do think that BDSM has to have an energy exchange between the players.
Nice. Okay. How do you find time for community?
You schedule it. You really do. You schedule it. You look at what you want to support, what community events resonate with you. For example, I'm not a big drinker. Like, I'm drinking some iced tea. I don't go to bars, events that often. But I would go to an event that might be like Bark in the Park, or something out.
The leather social.
Yeah,
things
the
like
leather
that.
social that may not be in the bar that week, or something like that. But you really do have to schedule it and have to really just make the time.
How do we make community spaces safe for everybody?
By doing the hard work. Doing the hard work. Going back again, it goes back and talking to the leaders when something isn't right. And know that a lot of the leadership that you see in your communities are very privileged, and they will sometimes not see their own privilege, and they will push back and be like, no, that's not really a big issue, or no, because they want to make sure that their event is successful for the masses. And I get it, but if your event is not safe, your masses are not going to continue to follow. And there have been a lot of events across the United States where I'm just like, not until the safety gets a little better. not until the safety gets a lot better.
Mhm.
It really is one of those things, not only safety for the women who go, but our POC, our trans siblings. Our leather community is just not cis white gay men. It is a blanket of people, and we have to remember that understand your leather history and your leather traditions, but know when to evolve them. And I think we're at a point where it's time for revolution.
It's time for everyone to revolt and throw a party, just like they did at Pride.
That's right. Pride was a riot.
Pride was a riot. How can one be an ally to the queer community, in your eyes?
Allyship is a verb. Ally is a verb. It's not something that people are going to be automatically good at. And so one thing I could say is listen. If a member of the queer community or your friend who, comes to you and is having a problem, just listen. Don't offer a solution. They didn't ask you for that. They just want somebody to be safe with and to be heard. And then I think once you can do that and you can be that safe person, then I think that's where your allyship can really bloom, and you can start supporting queer initiatives within the communities that we have, like Metro.
Yeah, Metro Orlando.
Yeah, Metro Orlando, and there's a couple of different ones who may need volunteering or who may need support with money. Metro in St. Pete did a Kinky Art Fest, and we went and Bootblack there, and I bought some art and had a great time and gave back to the community. And
I could say one thing with all these events: money is the power in everything.
Yeah, it really is, and and I think one thing that I've noticed is that volunteering is the carrot that they like to dangle to get in, instead of understanding that not everybody has the privilege enough to be able to fork out,
$75 for a weekend
that's
pass.
just a pass.
Yeah.
Like going to Lake Imsel. It's one of my favorite events to go to. $1,500 is that event. So if I want to go, I have to save up $1,500, and a lot of people just can't do that. And that's if I'm getting my own hotel room. If I'm sharing, it might be a little different, but still, that's things on top of that is, are you going to share with a friend? Can you share with a friend? Do you feel safe sharing with strangers? As a trans person, I probably wouldn't share my space with a stranger. I might share my space with a friend. I liked my own hotel rooms, so it's hard. It's expensive and it's hard, and I don't think it's fair. And I don't like to use that word very often. I don't think it's fair that events require people to volunteer 14, 15 hours a weekend just to get into the place, because at that point, you've missed everything. And then you're too goddamn tired to even go play, so what's the point? Yeah. There's got to be a different way of doing it.
Different formula.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. All right. How do you think events will change after COVID?
Well, there's either going to be two things. Everybody's going to get more kinkier because we haven't seen each other in like 3 years, right?
I know, right? It's been awful.
It really has been awful. Not being able to touch and hold and have those hugs and the conversations, things great through Zoom and technology, but when's the last time that you were really able to hold your leather sister, brother, sibling, it's just
suspend them, torture them, all the good things.
Exactly. You can't do that on Zoom. They don't like it. No. Or I think they're going to be really more militant on the clean, sanitize your area. They might supply more than what they had in the past. They might even ask you your vaccine status, and that's something that we've been talking about. A lot of people online have been talking about whether or not it's appropriate to ask somebody, what's your status?
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of You know, like it's medical information. You know,
it's like me walking around with my service dog and people ask me what's wrong with you.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be different, and I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to go.
I know. I'm excited to go.
I'm
excited to leave my house.
I don't even know where I'm going to go, but I'm excited to go somewhere. You know, that's not a grocery store or a doctor's office.
What is your favorite toy in your toy bag?
I would say my brain.
Your brain?
Yeah.
You do have a pretty sexy brain.
Yeah,
I like the things you come up
your
with.
imagination. You know, you could take anything and make it into a pervertible. You know, I think,
yes.
you know, I like a lot of food play, so there tends to be something in there related to that. I do like my little evil stick. Rubber bands are fun.
Body rubber bands are the best.
Oh yeah. You know, I really like.
No, I put it away.
Go to the Dollar Tree and get a bag of rubber bands, and you could really make some pretty marks on somebody with that. You know,
Awesome. Can kinks cross over?
Cross over to where?
I mean, can kinks cross over each other?
Well, yeah.
Some people have that question.
Yeah,
I got a purist question. So.
Yeah, you can. You can totally cross over in the kinks. You know, you can have people who in the leather community, their kink is leather. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't consider one of my kinks leather. I don't get off on a piece of leather like this. Like this would not. This is just clothing to me.
Yeah.
But if I was in a scene with some leather and the person and having that energy, it totally can. Mm-hmm. You know, so it totally can cross over. Pups can be littles, and dominants and sirs can be littles, and you know I've seen it, and it's wonderful. I think the more crossover we have, the more unique and interesting our community can be.
Nice. Is there any organizations you support in the community? Anything that gets like your stamp of approval?
Oh, Leatherheart Foundation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are a 501c who supports leather people in times of need through emergency funds, mm-hmm. Through contact information if you need. I've recommended them to a few people in our community, and not even in the leather community, but just in the kink community in general. That is what they're there for. Johnson Carter Library mm-hmm. Is another one that I fully like. Anything that the library supports, it's a great thing. You know, we need our history to be written and preserved, and especially women's history, POC history. You know, those are the things that I know I look for when mm-hmm. I'm reading my leather history books. And, you know, I want to see other people that don't look like me.
Yeah. Why do you think some leather folks have massive issues with non-binary friends? You can always skip a question.
No, this is really good. I think that they're just not used to it. Mm-hmm. They're very linear and very binary, and they're not used to it. So I think it goes to a lack of education, a lack of exposure. That's why it's always good to have that non-binary voice, especially like during keynote speakers. You know, how often do we hear "ladies and gentlemen, thank you for bringing"? You know, mm-hmm. You know, I like to say. Girls, guys, and non-binary pals, or something like that, or you know, welcome everybody. You know, even at the language that I use at work, I'm like, hey folks, mm-hmm. hey team, hey friend. Yep. You know, because not everybody identifies that way, and I just think it's the lack of exposure. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for your time.
Oh, it's over already.
We're gonna put this guy back together. It was quick.
Yeah, it's it's not. It doesn't take very much to take care of your leather, because if you take care of your leather, it's going to take care of you.
Oh, is there anything else you want to end with before we put this all back together?
Don't forget the little kits.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I would have had something like this in the beginning, I think it would have been really super helpful.
Yeah. Everything's here.
Yeah, I had these tiny little daughters, and that's
this
a
is
size.
like the can of Hubbards like I started with.
Yeah,
a brush.
Like a little will do you. You know, and Hubbard's is great to play with, and you know your kit is great to play with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just having that conversation with your Bootblacks.
Awesome.
You know, just if you don't know a Bootblack, just go on Facebook. There's a group, Bootblacks.
You can find us.
You can find us, and we love to share information.
Yes.
So
we got a weird leather project posted there.
Yeah.
We'll find an advice for you.
Oh yeah, you know, and I think some of the Bootblacks are just some of the best friends that I have.
Mm-hmm.
So
nice. Yep. You can pick up those kicks on girlfriendxoxo.com. So they're all up there. What? Later. The 3.
3XOXOXO.
3XOXOXO. Sorry, I missed one. I will put it.
Kisses?
Just lots of hugs and kisses. Because everything else was taken. That's why there's so much hugs and kisses. And plus, I really love to wiggle my butt when I hug people. I want to make sure you feel it.
Oh, we feel it.
You feel it.
We sure do.
Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and put this guy back together, and then we can show it off.
Mm-hmm.
As my husband's trying to shut the cameras off. It's like, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh.
There you go.
Awesome. It looks so good.
Yeah, it does. It looks really nice. And this part goes in the back. And then this part goes on the front. So it comes out like that.
It looks so nice.
Thank you for working on that one.
You're welcome. Thanks for bringing it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Pop, you can turn off the cameras now. You dork.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.